Hi, Mark Conforti here, your Yadkin Valley District Superintendent, coming to you from this week's cabinet meeting in Huntersville. During the first part of the week, we've been listening to ministry reports, reflecting upon resiliency in the face of trauma for congregations and clergy, and also meeting about finances, because we always want to be faithful stewards of the church's resources. Coming up later in the week, the cabinet will travel together to Valley Crucis for hands-on service. It's part of our annual conference's ongoing commitment to rebuilding and recovery after Hurricane Helene. Remember, coming up this Sunday, September the 28th, all congregations throughout the Connection are invited to receive a special love offering to support that work. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who helped make the DS installation on Sunday so very special. A big thank you to Reverend Lori Ann Bowen and the other presiding elders, to Reverend Michelle Foster Beckerleg and the team at Mount Tabor United Methodist Church. Everything came together so beautifully. It was really a celebration of our connection within the Yadkin Valley District. That was exactly what I was hoping it would be. Several people asked me about one of the songs, Feeling Stronger Every Day by Chicago. I had asked Chris and Gloria Hughes, longtime friends of ours, if they could provide some music, and I specifically requested that song because there was a time in my life as a pastor that song gained a certain resonance within my spirit, and I would just sing that song to myself over and over, and almost became like a mantra. So I wanted that to be a part of the service, a little bit of sharing my heart with you through music. A big thank you to everybody who was there, who participated, who gave to support Open Arms Ministry. $1,804 was received. Praise the Lord. If you didn't have the chance to be there in person, you can click on the link below and watch the service online. I have something very special to share with you at the end of this video, but first, there are 5 dates that I want to make sure are on your calendar. The first one, Thursday, October the 9th, 10 a.m., it's our next district clergy gathering at Faith United Methodist Church in Rural Hall. Bob Nations, the host pastor, will be there to not only welcome us, but to preach. And the sermon will be about pastoral care. He'll offer some important theological themes, tips for us to be reflecting upon together as clergy. I think it'll really bless you, as will the music, led by Sarah Howell, such an extraordinarily gifted minister and musician. Plan to be there Thursday, October 9th at 10 a.m. Saturday, October the 18th is the district-wide gathering at Tanglewood Park. If you and your congregation, if you're looking for something fun to do that you really don't need to do anything else to plan except just announce it and show up yourself, this is it. Plan to be there. District-wide, clergy and laity together, coming to celebrate who we are within the Yadkin Valley District. Delicious, amazing food, wonderful music, and yes, there will be an opportunity if you would like to make a donation to help defray the costs. But we want this to be easy access for everybody to come together. Thank you to all of the people who helped plan this event. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope to see you there. The very next day, Sunday, October the 19th, is the Laity Sunday service, 3 p.m. at Memorial United Methodist Church in Thomasville. This is a way that we celebrate those special leaders within each of our congregations throughout the Yadkin Valley District. I look forward to meeting them, thanking them, and celebrating their contributions. Thursday, October the 30th, is the Clergy Day Apart. Throughout all of Western North Carolina, clergy are going to descend upon First United Methodist in Gastonia, and I hope that you will be a part of it. We'll have great food and fellowship, and it will be a spiritually meaningful time as well. We need to connect together, to connect with God. Plan to be there, Thursday, October the 30th. The 5th date to put on your calendar, Monday, November the 17th, a special training for both Assess UMC and Compass, the new retirement plan that Westpath will roll out. It will be held at Christ United Methodist Church in Greensboro, Yadkin Valley District Clergy along with Northern Piedmont District Clergy together. Some conference leaders will be on hand to provide this training, including a representative from Westpath. You may have some questions. They will certainly provide answers. Plan to be there. It's really important information. I want to make sure that you are a part of that training on Monday, November the 17th. All right, without any further ado, I recently had a conversation with Reverend Laura Hamrick, who works with Duke's Clergy Health Initiative. You may remember just a few weeks ago, you received an email, clergy serving under appointment within the district, invited to participate in the survey. I hope you've already clicked on that and have participated. Laura shared some really helpful information in this conversation, and I hope you will take a listen. Laura Hamrick, thanks for making time to chat with me.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Mark.
Awesome. Well, I'm hoping for us to have a conversation about the Clergy Health Initiative and helpful information for pastors in the Yadkin Valley District. So just to make sure everybody knows, what is the Clergy Health Initiative?
That's a really good question and a very important one to start with, I think. So the Duke Clergy Health Initiative has been around since 2007. And we have been learning about the health and well-being of United Methodist clergy in North Carolina ever since that time. And probably what most people know about us is that every 2 years we have done this huge statewide survey of clergy so that we can learn about their physical, spiritual, mental, emotional health and well-being. Um, and then with that, we're able to put together resources and share information in ways that we hope is helpful. And if you ask me some more questions, I can be more specific about some of that.
Okay. Now, I've taken that survey many times over the years, and I can tell you I personally benefited because I learned that my cholesterol needed some attention through diet and exercise.
Okay.
And I remember drinking the H2 orange um, from that
Yes, that
program.
was from the Spirited Life intervention. So yeah, to your
That was
point,
part of this, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
there have been a couple of large scale interventions that we have done because of things that we learned in the statewide survey. And the one
Okay.
that you're talking about was the Spirited Life intervention, and H2 Orange was a big part of that.
Right.
And it did have certainly impacts on physical health. A lot of people lost weight on that. But one thing that we learned from that survey is that we were not able to make a difference in stress symptoms for clergy. Who would know that clergy have stress, Mark?
Yeah.
And so then the other large scale intervention we did was the SALA stress management trial, which actually took place. A lot of that was during COVID, and we were able to test several interventions. The daily examine was one. Um, Mindfulness-based stress reduction, and then something called stress proofing. And we did that intervention to see if we could impact stress. And we were able to do that and help folks manage stress symptoms, anxiety and depression, heart rate variability, all that stuff. And there's all sorts of cool stuff that we learned from that. And all of that you can find on our website. So let me just go ahead and put a first plug in for the website. It's called Clergy Religion Research .duke.edu. But if you Google Clergy Health Initiative, you can get to it.
Okay. So you mentioned the surveys. There's a new round of surveys, correct?
Absolutely. The end of August kicked off the ninth wave of the clergy health survey, and it is underway right now. And clergy who are eligible for that, which really is most clergy who are serving under appointment, you should have gotten a link to that survey in your conference email. So this is another reason why people really need to check their conference email. And I bet you remind your clergy all the time to check that conference email. So you
That's
have a
right.
unique link. Each person has a unique link. You can't share it with anybody else. It's unique to you. And complete that survey. I think this time it took me maybe a hair over an hour. It takes different people different amounts of time. And once you complete the survey, you get a $50 gift card, which is always really nice. And there's also an option to donate that to, I think, the American Red Cross. There's some charitable options in there too. But then this year, something that we're really excited about is we have a little bit of competition going on. Um, we are incentivizing the district that ends up with the highest participation rate, the highest completion rate in the survey. We will make a $1,000 donation to a ministry of your district's choosing. And I know you responded pretty quickly when I sent out an email to the cabinet about that. That seemed like something you might be excited about, Mark.
Very excited. There are many excellent ministries in the Yadkin Valley District, but I did identify one, and I want to mention it here on the video. Open Arms Ministry.
Ooh.
It's been operating for several years, and I took a tour recently. I've spoken to some of their board members. This is really a wonderful collaborative ministry that makes a deep impact on the lives of kids and families in a tough neighborhood,
Mhm.
especially in Winston-Salem. And so I'm eager for Open Arms Ministry to receive that $1,000. I would love for our Yadkin Valley District clergy to reply and do the survey. I completed it. Yeah, it took about an hour,
Mhm.
and I think I may have done it in two different sittings.
I
Like,
did too. I
yeah,
did
like
too.
I did a little bit, took a break, and it was real easy to just pick back up. I'm impressed with the technology that it can do that so easily.
Right.
Um, but then, yeah, I did get the $50 gift card. Oh man, you mentioned the opportunity to donate it. I didn't
Okay.
donate my gift. I got a gift card to Chipotle, and I've enjoyed it. I'm happy to say.
Okay. Well, we want you to enjoy it
Yeah.
because, it does take some time to complete it.
Hmm.
But I want to go back to something that you had said. I think we've heard from a number of people, and I would say it's true for me as well, that when I have completed the survey, it's made me think about my health and well-being. And for instance, when it asks how many minutes of moderate exercise have you gotten this week or vigorous exercise, and I think I'm probably not quite where I want to be on that. And so instead of making me just feel bad about it, it makes me think, okay, what am I going to do differently now so that I
Yeah.
can
Take action.
next time I complete the survey, I can do it a little differently. So hopefully it's not just yeah, you report about yourself, but maybe it helps us think more about our health and
Yeah.
well-being.
Okay. So once again, reminder to all Yadkin Valley District clergy serving under appointment, check your conference email, click on the unique link, do the survey, and let's see what happens. You've talked about how the Clergy Health Initiative wants to serve the clergy
Hmm.
in North Carolina specifically, of course. No doubt the research that the initiative is discovering benefits many people beyond North Carolina.
Hmm.
But I'm always intrigued about this correlation between mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health. Um, they're all linked together.
Yes, they are.
What do you think the Clergy Health Initiative is learning about how it's all linked together?
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to answer that by pointing to one of our newest resources that we're excited about. So, as we have taken what we have learned, it used to be that we would look at what was wrong. I mean, we measure, how are people having a hard time, and especially as we think about mental health, we would think about anxiety and depression. And then there's been a shift to not only ask about anxiety and depression, but to also look at positive mental health. And what's going well, and what helps people do better. And so that led to some more in-depth learning about flourishing clergy. And we were able to identify a pool of people whose anxiety and depression measures were such that um, actually we looked at that we interviewed not just people who were flourishing, but people who were not flourishing as well. And what we learned is that there are four things that flourishing clergy do that clergy who are not flourishing do not do. And it does link the spiritual, mental, physical health. So let me just name
Yeah.
the resource is called Fully Alive. It's called a resource to guide clergy toward four behaviors of flourishing. And the four behaviors are clergy who are flourishing protect some personal time every day. They have intentional self-care practices. And so that gets at the whole, a lot of that is physical health related. They see themselves as partnering with God in their work. And they also maintain a network of social support. Um, these sound pretty simple, but obviously putting those things into practice takes some effort. But I think we're most excited about that because we think this really can make a difference. In fact, we're getting ready to lead a workshop for all the REOM leaders and participants in Western North Carolina. They're going to be using this resource. And so I just point to that as a way of
Yeah.
saying that these things are connected and that there are actionable things we can do to positively impact our overall well-being.
A theme that I heard through all four, and I remember reading that when it was first published. So thank you for reminding us about it. I think we all need to go back and take another look at it.
Me too.
Yeah. A theme is intentionality,
Hmm.
like effort is put into it, which is, I think, a Wesleyan theme within our understanding of the kingdom of God. We participate, we step forward, we say yes,
Hmm.
we want to be a disciple, we want to be healthy. Health
Hmm.
is not just going to fall into our lap. We need to put effort into this.
Sure, we do. Absolutely, we do.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I also think about, Mark, is our work is specifically about clergy. That does not mean that lay people are not important as well. I think when I think about the Fully Alive resource and some of the things that it talks about, I think we can help lay folks in our congregation think about their own lives and how they might flourish. Again, our research is not specifically geared toward lay folks, but I think they can benefit from a lot of this as well, and they participate in the well-being of clergy. And when clergy are healthy, they are much more able to be creative in their ministry settings. And so it really is a partnership kind of thing. And we have resources for that too, because we've
Sure.
realized that clergy health is not a solitary thing, that it is that partnership between clergy and people in the congregation.
If I'm not mistaken, the pastor and parish curriculum was also born out of some of the early work of the Clergy Health
Yes,
Initiative.
it sure was. And then a couple of years ago, we released another resource called Keeping the Faith: Conversations to Strengthen the Bond Between Pastors and Church Leaders. And this is sort of another iteration of some of the pastor and parish stuff. Again, it's a connection, it's a mutual effort.
I've been unpacking boxes in the district office of my personal books and files, and I came across that very thing that you just held up. So,
Oh,
yeah,
good,
I've
Mark.
got it.
Good,
Need to
good.
use it.
Now, I was
encourage others to use
hopefully,
it.
yeah, use it, use it.
Yeah. Well, this has been great. I'm curious on a very personal level, Laura, what's been your vocational satisfaction? What's been meaningful for you working with the Clergy Health
Mm.
Initiative?
Oh, I thank you for that question, Mark. I've actually, I've served in churches for about 17 years or so. I'm a second career pastor, but I served churches for a number of years before moving into extension ministry. I've been with the Clergy Health Initiative about 3 years, and I've had people ask me, why did you leave ministry? And I know what they're referring to. They mean, why did you leave parish ministry? But the way I've responded to them is I think that the work that I get to do with the Clergy Health Initiative is some of the most important work that I have done in my entire ministerial life. Um, I know how hard it is to be a clergy person serving in the church. There are so many joys to it as well. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But what I know is that what I get to be part of is resourcing and supporting my colleagues in ministry like you and the people in your district who we want them to flourish, we want them to thrive and be as healthy as they can be. And so that for me, I feel like every day I get to do something that just might help one of my colleagues, and that's a real gift.
Thank you for being a gift to all of your colleagues throughout the state. And thank you for making time to chat with me here.
Well, thank you, Mark, and thanks to all of your clergy. And please, if we can answer any questions or support folks in any way, we'd be glad to do that. And just everything that we offer, all of our resources are available for download on our website free of charge. So please, please, please take advantage of those opportunities. So thank you.